Good morning and welcome to Today in LA. I'm Mike Amos. He's Forrest Lee as we start a Tuesday on our show as we go to you on Facebook across the nation, across the world. And I hope that you're doing well. If you want somebody to watch us this morning live, all you got to do is go to TC2 TV. That's very easy to do on your Facebook. Is that right?
That's correct. TC2 TV.
Forrest is the guy with the news this morning. What's going on, my friend?
Well, let me borrow your paper right there. That
You got it.
some softball results and happenings. The 15 and under Bells that went to Alexandria, Louisiana, in softball. They lost their first game 13-1 Saturday. They won their second game 17-12 over Tennessee. And then they lost a heartbreaker to Florida, 7-5. So they're out of the tournament. The 6 and under Sweeties finished third in the tournament.
Go Sweeties, go! Go Sweeties, go!
They're 6 and under. They won their first game 21-10 over Louisiana. They defeated Virginia 26-5 on Sunday. And then on Sunday they lost to Ward 10, who's the host team out of Louisiana, 28-15, and then they lost to Tennessee last night.
Boy, they fought a hard battle. They were the leading team in the tournament at one time, and still finished very good.
Yeah, they finished third overall. Now the 10 and under Angels are still in it. There's 4 teams left: North Carolina, Louisiana, Tennessee, and Alabama. On Saturday, the girls opened up with a 11-1 victory over South Carolina. On Sunday, they defeated Texas in their second game 18-0, and then they lost to Louisiana 13-5, and that was on Sunday. Mm-hmm. Yesterday, they defeated Texas 20-5.
Beat the state of Texas 20-5.
Mm-hmm. And tonight at 5:30. Not sure who they're going to play just yet. They're going to play either North Carolina, Louisiana, or Tennessee, but they will play at 5:30, and that's the 10 and under Angels, who are playing in Tioga, Louisiana, near Alexandria.
For the World Softball pitch, 10 and under.
10 and under. So, there's 10 teams in that division that started, and there's 4 left. North Carolina, Louisiana, Tennessee, and Alabama. And whenever you host a World Series, like Alexandria, Louisiana, there's 2 teams from Louisiana. The host team automatically gets in, and then the state champion of Louisiana gets in. So if Troy ever hosts a World Series, Troy is automatically in the World Series, and then whoever wins the state of Alabama, they're in it as well.
Wouldn't it be now? I know a lot of times they need more than one field, but wouldn't you love to see a World Series played on Troy University's softball complex? Wouldn't that be something?
Well, you probably would have to have
just move the bases.
No, well, you need multiple fields to have a World Series. Yeah. And I have no idea. Dan Smith is down there.
Well, Troy's got the multiple fields, over at the sportsplex. When you say,
well, there again, Dan Smith know more about that than I do. But a lot of those fields that they're playing on have AstroTurf. So good luck to the Angels tonight at 5:30. And I found some of this on Facebook, and the scores I found. I went to DixieSoftball.org, and there you can go to the tournaments, the World Series tournaments, and click on that icon. I think there's like 8 World Series going on in Southeast United States, but most of them are going on in Louisiana.
It would tickle me to find out how many of our teams, that had dual parents, on different teams. It would tickle me to know how many of those people are still left and having to stay in Louisiana.
Well, I know there's some on the 10 and under whose sisters play up.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there's any sisters that play on the same team. But the 10 and under.
So
some of them are staying because they got sisters, or they may just stay an extra day to watch.
In fact, there were six different
sets of sisters.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Here's your Troy football stuff.
And Troy University is tearing it up right now with getting commitments for next year in football, and of course this is for 2003. The Stanhope Elmore long snapper Colton Walls is committed to Troy, and
he's also going to be a baseball player.
Yeah,
he committed to Troy in baseball first.
Oh, really? Okay.
They're going to let him long snap.
Okay, well that's good to find out, and he must be quite a player. Adrian Griffin is Alma Bryant, offensive lineman.
That's outside of Mobile.
That's right. And Billy Gilmore is a tight end from Jackson, Alabama. Wait a minute, I got confused here. In Florida, that is Jackson Worley has announced their commitments to Troy on social media yesterday. So right now, and how about this? About this young man right here, Adrian Griffin. He made his announcement on Monday as a 6'5", 300-pound defensive end. We'll take those guys every day, won't we? And even then, Troy offers came from listen to this, and other people, Kentucky, Mississippi State, Tennessee, Georgia Tech, Louisville, Maryland, Syracuse, Georgia State, UAB, and West Virginia. Troy beat out every one of those guys for the rights to get Griffin, and that's quite a pick right there.
Yes, sir. And speaking of local information, Charles Henson High School has a player.
Let's go ahead.
Hey, good morning, Michael. We were talking about a little bit of football this morning. Charles Henderson's sophomore defensive end, Zion Grady. Zion is 6'4", 230 pounds. He's already received an offer from Auburn, but he received recently an offer to play football at the University of Tennessee. So he's just a sophomore at Charles Henderson High School, 6'4", 230.
Boy,
that future is good.
Yeah. And quite a player there.
And Pike Liberal Arts named their new basketball coach. His name is Charlie Schofield. Charlie's from Greenville, Alabama. He played basketball, football, and baseball at Fort Dale. He's been at Pike Liberal Arts for a few years. He's taught at Gulf Shores High School, Orange Beach Elementary, and Daphne East Elementary School, but he will be taking over the reins that Matt Brown used to be the head coach, now to be Charlie Schofield. So congratulations.
Yeah, I want to say Charlie Schofield was one of the assistant coaches on that staff already. Matt Brown did a great job. What did he win? 2 state championships?
Yeah, I believe that's correct. Yeah. And when I first came to Charles Henderson Middle School, Matt was an 8th grader, and he played football for us. And, of course, he played basketball as well. And I actually graduated high school with Matt's daddy, Bobby, in Goshen in 1977. And I actually ran into his uncle, one of his uncles, Big Sam Brown.
Yeah.
If you had a dollar for every wall he's painted, you'd be all right.
Were all the Browns real tall? I know Matt like 6'7" probably, and Bobby's tall 6'5".
They all were pretty tall. Their mother, Miss Virginia, was a tall lady. She was probably a good 5'10", 5'11". And Mr. Buster William T. He was a tall fella. He was in World War II.
Mike, we mentioned this guy, a commitment Troy got, Mike, that looks to be very good. This kid named Adrian Griffin. He's a Fairfield defensive end, and is committed to Troy. And did you get that information about him?
I saw a another kid that Troy ended up getting the other day. I don't think that was his name, though.
Yeah.
I know they have about 8 or 9 guys.
All right, but right now,
next year's signing class.
on Monday,
Other names on other papers.
they've got an announcement Monday as the 6'5", 300-pound defensive end chose Troy over listen to this, Mike, over schools like Kentucky, Mississippi State, Tennessee, Georgia Tech, Louisville, Maryland, Syracuse, Georgia State, UAB, and West Virginia all went after him. And right now he is committed to Troy. He's a 3-star defensive end, and he's ranked 40th best player in Alabama.
Yeah, that's a big pickup. Yeah, I've noticed some are all staff. I mean, they already have about 7 or 8 guys for next year. It's pretty good for Troy.
Well, it sure is. Here's some other guys. This kid that we were talking about earlier. On Monday, Troy received a commitment from a dual sport athlete in. Let's see, I've got him down here.
Walls is his last
Walls,
name. His
yeah,
first
Walls,
name's
yeah,
on that
right,
other
that's
paper.
Right, you're right. It's in the other paper. Named Colton Walls.
Colton Walls.
And he's also is he the one that's the baseball player?
Yes,
too?
sir. Yes, sir.
He's also a baseball player who's committed.
Played at Stanhope Elmore.
Stanhope
does
very good
play.
program. Very good program.
This is last year, be a senior.
Yeah. In
I was
fact,
reading an article about Live Golf.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's always talking about all these people moving over, and Tiger Woods, according to Greg Norman, was offered $700 to $800 million just to go play on the Live Golf Tour.
oh man.
It's amazing. It's amazing that a man can turn down $700 to $800 million just to go play.
I know it. But of course, evidently money's not a problem, not a deal at all with Tiger. You know, he's got it all.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's a billionaire already.
Yeah.
Greg Norman looks like he could still play. What is he, about 66, 67 years old?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he's in phenomenal shape. Yeah.
Mike, some of these other commitments Troy got, they got a commitment from a Jackson Olin defensive tackle named Tyrus.
Oh, yeah, that's the kid I read about, yeah.
And he's quite a player.
Aquarius Perry.
Yeah. And also they got a commitment from Vero Beach, Florida linebacker Keyshawn Campbell. And they beat Ole Miss and a couple of more team defensive linemen. Here's a defensive lineman, Malaski Pecos. Oh gosh, I can't get
Malachi Picus.
Yeah. And he's a kid from Tennessee, a quarterback from Tennessee, I want to say. I better stop and read this. It's several commitments, though, and a kid from J.D. Sherrod from Louisville, Mississippi, defensive end, committed to Troy, and Gabriel Moore, a kid from Stanhope Elmore, and a receiver, Jackson Thomas, in Baldwin County, and he's received a commitment from Kai Minority. So, pretty good group of prospects right here. Troy's already got committed for the 2003 year, so they'll come to Troy hopefully under a scholarship in 2003.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like 3 stars. Griffin's a 3-star. McGee's out of Washington, Mississippi is a 3-star. Keyshawn Campbell's a 3-star. So that's pretty impressive for Troy.
It really is. You know, this kid Worley is another one of those 6'4" receivers, 6'4", 225-pounder from King's Academy School in West Palm Beach, Florida. Boy. Yeah, you know, other day I was at the on Sunday, no, not Sunday, but recently they had a clinic, not a clinic, but a
Camp, summer camp.
A summer camp for for the high school kid that's going to be a senior next year. And I walked out there, and I was talking to two kids from Texas, came all the way from Texas to the camp. You know, and we've said it so many times on this show, you need to go to a team's camp, you know, before you'll get a shot at getting a scholarship. And there were players from all over to come to Troy's camp.
Mm-hmm.
I think there about 200 boys. 200 boys were at the camp. Tremendous opportunity for Troy.
I read online this morning, there was a news article on WSFA TV about two local restaurants coming to downtown Troy. Well, I was going to turn the video on this morning, but I didn't want to wake Jody and Abby up, so I couldn't listen to it. But the corner is Hook's Barbecue that's
right.
coming to downtown Troy in September, and they're going to have, of course, pork, chicken on flatbread, sliders, smoked wings, salads, and another variety of popular bar foods. They're also offer high-end dining, which will include beers, wines, liquors, for anybody that wants to stop by for a cocktail. But it's located on the corner of Church Street and South Oak in downtown Troy, Alabama. And that store, Mike, did that used to be an old hardware store or Western
Used to be Goodyear.
Used to be Goodyear. So that's where it will be. The owner is Adam Renfro, and they also own Hooks on 231, and they'll be closed on Mondays, just like the out there on the bypass. But the hours will be from 10:30 until 9 o'clock weekdays.
Boy.
And on the weekends, it'll be open until 10:30.
Huh.
So it's going to be called The Corner, or The Corners. That's going to be in downtown Troy. And the part I couldn't see was what Yanni's doing. And Yanni is going to be near the old Sips.
Yep, so pretty much the same general location.
It'll be in that area, and he will have another side store that will feature some of the items that they've cooked and pre-packaged that you can buy and take home.
Well, when will he be opening up? Do you know?
I'm not sure. I didn't get to read that. It was on the news. You can go to WSFA TV.
WSFA with them?
And they did an article on the two restaurants coming to downtown Troy. But Yanni was being interviewed. I couldn't listen to all of it because I didn't want to wake Jody and Abby up. I couldn't find the volume button on my computer.
Well, I tell you what, it'll be a meat and three type restaurant on the right side, and then of course you'll be able to pick up and go with a lot of different items. Such as casseroles and different things.
Yes, that's correct.
I love his. Let me tell you something. His camp stew is the best around. It is wonderful. It's Yanni's camp stew. And
Did we mention the great Bill Russell died? Dad, you probably watched it.
Oh boy, no, we didn't, and I want to because he was one of the all-time greats. Along with you would throw him in there with all the greats such as.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah, Abdul-Jabbar was his. He was Abdul-Jabbar's idol.
Was Russell the scorer though? You know,
he could score.
He averaged about 12 points a game.
He's a great rebounder.
Over 20 rebounds a game for his career.
Oh, unreal.
But I've got some information on him. William Felton Russell. He was born in Monroe, Louisiana.
Yeah.
His dad moved him to Oakland, California when he was 8 years old. His mother died when he was 12. He signed with the San Francisco Dons, and they won 2 national championships
University of San Francisco.
when he was a junior and senior. He played high school basketball with Frank Robinson,
the great baseball
player
for the Orioles.
And of his 13 seasons in the NBA, they won 11 titles. He played 13 years.
With all the great ones. One of the only people to beat him was Bob Pettit's St. Louis Hawk team. Was the only was one of the only teams that I can remember beating that Boston.
That's crazy. I didn't realize Russell only played 13 years. That's not that long. I mean, it's a long career, but it's not like as long as some of these other guys.
He never lost a NCAA championship game that he played in. He never lost an NBA Finals. that he
But
played
now,
in.
I know that he lost to Chamberlain one time at least. I don't know how many times.
And maybe in the playoffs, but not in the finals,
Yeah. What?
according to what I read.
What now?
In the playoffs, but not in the final. If he made the finals,
Yeah, Russell was only 6'9". He wasn't a 7-footer like Chamberlain and some of these other guys.
I always thought he was about 6'11".
I think he was only 6'9", but I'm not. I'll check and see.
But of course, Will Chamberlain was 6'7'2", 7'1", or 7'2", I think.
Bill Russell, when I started reading some more articles, he wore number 6. Boston, the Celtics have retired like 22 or 23 numbers.
Yeah,
They got to be running out.
Yeah. Of course, Kuzi was his point man. Kuzi got the ball to Russell, but like you said, and then they had a great player named Tommy Hansen.
Mm-hmm.
He was a great player on that Boston Celtics team, and it just goes on and on.
Russell was 6'10".
6'10", all right. Okay.
What is a Don? The San Francisco Dons.
I don't know.
Aren't they the Dons?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Of course, this show is brought to you by Noble Manor. For assisted living, nobody can beat Noble Manor anywhere, and we appreciate them being a part of our show. As we do Circle Insurance in Ozark, Sam Judah, my good friend, has a big insurance agency there, right off the square in downtown Ozark. We appreciate it.
Yeah, Russell averaged 15 points per game in his career. He was 6'10", but he had a wingspan of 7'4".
Oh boy, he played like he was 7'4". Then did you say he?
Yeah, I didn't know he was the head coach in the NBA. He won 341 games and only lost 290 as a head coach.
I know it. He sure was. He was a great man too. Now, but let me say, did you say he averaged 15 points a game over?
Over his career is what it says. 15.1 points per game, rebounds 22.5, assists 4.3.
Well, I tell you what, he was a great, great player, and a lot of these other great players all idolized him. They all looked up to the great basketball player, and we appreciate y'all getting that information up on Bill Russell.
He was a good. He was a track star as well in high school.
High jump.
High jump, and I believe he was a runner, a good runner.
Yeah.
What I read.
His rookie contract, he made $24,000.
Oh boy.
so $24,000 back then was equivalent to about $240,000 in 2021.
And let me tell you what kind of shoes they wore. Converse All-Stars. That's what they wore.
Yeah.
The great
high top.
all these high top. So a lot of you girls out there are wearing the same shoe that the NFL, NBA wore. And but you're right. I'm one of the all-time greats, no question about it. And you put Alcindor, you would put Jordan and all these guys in with Bill Russell.
I got the information about the San Francisco Dons. It says it was a subtitle nod to Don Francisco de Haro, the city's first mayor of San Francisco. So the Dons. Words to that effect.
I've got Alabama's projected depth chart going into practice on Thursday. You want me to go to it?
Yeah, you can. Do you know most people will not know who these people are? So go ahead and do it.
Quarterback got Bryce Young, former previous year Heisman Trophy winner. This should be Bryce Young last year. You got Jalen Milroy. He's the kid out of Texas everybody's been talking about.
Boy, he's a physical specimen. I saw footage on him. I mean, Mike, he's huge. This guy probably weighs 230.
Yeah, they say Bill O'Brien's going to have a package for Milroy, regardless of how Bryce Young plays. Ty Simpson's your third string kid out of Martin, Tennessee, 5-star.
Coach's son, 5-star, and he must be really good to get a 5-star.
Then at running backs, you got Jameer Gibbs, transfer out of Georgia Tech. It's the projected starter. Trey Sanders.
You mean the kid from? Excuse me now. The kid from transferred from Georgia Tech is going to be the starter right now.
Projected.
That's what everybody says. I mean, this guy runs a 4.4. Trey Sanders is the backup. He's been there for years. Jace McClellan, backup. Got injured last year. Rodell Williams got injured last year as well. And then fifth or sixth string, Emmanuel Henderson, the kid out of Geneva.
And the kid out of Geneva, Alabama, though, you reckon they'll just go ahead and redshirt him, or what do you think? Or do you think they'll play him right now?
He might play special teams. Who knows? Wide receiver, you got Jermaine Burton, transfer out of Georgia. He was on Georgia's national championship team last year, was the leading receiver on Georgia's roster. He's now at Alabama. Tyler Harrell, top receiver at Louisville, transferred in. At wide receiver, Ja'Cory Brooks. Who's Ja'Cory Brooks, Dad? What's he known for?
Ja'Cory Brooks. I don't know.
He caught the pass against, was it Auburn?
Auburn.
That's
Put
right.
it in overtime.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Ja'Cory Brooks, JoJo Earl, who's a slot guy, speedster, Treshawn Holden, Christian Leary, and then they got a bunch of freshman guys coming in as well. Harold's a legit 4-3 at wide receiver, so he's going to be kind of the new Jamison Williams, they all say. Tight end, Cameron Loto, played great last year for Alabama at tight end. Then they got backups, Robbie Ertz, Elijah Brown, Miles Kelsman are your tight ends at Alabama.
Oh, boy.
Offensive tackle, transfer from Vanderbilt, Tyler Steen, projected to be the starting tackle.
Kid from Vanderbilt.
Also, offensive tackle Kendall Randolph, J.C. Latham, Amari Knight, Tommy Brockenmeyer are your tackles. Offensive guard, Emil Okafor, started last year at Alabama at guard. Also, your starter is back. Javon Cohen was a starter at guard. He's back. Damian George and Jaden Roberts. Center, you got both centers back. Darian Delcourt, Seth McLaughlin. Defensive lineman, you got DJ Dell, who's going to start for a couple of years. Justin Bobby, Jamil Burrows, Byron Young, Tim Smith, Damian Payne, all defensive linemen for Alabama. There's more, but too many names to mention.
You know, Mike, though, I doubt it right now 50 people could walk into this studio and name any of those players hardly. You know, right now, most of them are no-name guys that we know.
No, these guys have all been starters. These guys have been naming.
Yeah, but all the Alabama...
This is what Alabama's known for right here. This is the best outside linebackers in the country. Will Anderson, probably first pick in the NFL draft. Dallas Turner would be the first pick probably if he could come out. The next year, he'd probably be the first pick. Chris Braswell, Kadarius Robinson, Damone Kennedy, and Jeremiah Alexander is Kid Up Thompson, who they say is going to be one of the best players in the country. So this is going to be the best group probably maybe ever at Alabama at outside linebacker.
Tim Tebow picked them to win it, and along with his other favorites were Ohio State and I think he said Clemson. Or outside shot of Texas.
And then linebacker, you got Henry Toa back at the start. Jalen Lutie played a lot last year as back at linebacker. Dante Lawson, Kendrick Blackshear, Ian Jackson, Sean Murphy. Quarterback, you got Kool-Aid McKinstry, Kaylee Jackson, Eli Ricks, the transfer from LSU, Teron Arnold, Kez Robinson, Earl Little Jr., and Antonio Kite are your cornerbacks. That's going to be Alabama's biggest concern, I feel like, is the cornerback. And then at star, you got Brian Branch and Malachi Moore. Both starters are back. And then both starting safeties are back. I don't think anybody realizes how big that is. Jordan Battle and Marco Helms came back at safety for Alabama. Your kicker is Will Weichard, Chase Allen, and Jack Martin, the Troy transfer. Jack Martin kid from Dothan.
Martin's still on the roster then.
Yeah, but he's not a starter. Hunters are James Burnup, Jack Martin. Then your long snapper is Keely Hibbett and Alex Rozier. that's your projected starters coming into camp starting on Thursday in Tuscaloosa.
You know, interesting footnote, the tight end at Alabama who was from Michigan that was in the doghouse, is he still on Texas's roster? And I can't even remember his name. Right.
Yeah, Jahil
Billingsley. Yeah,
Yeah,
Billingsley.
yeah. Boy, that's impressive. No question about it. We've, I've got some information coming in from Troy. I've got them actually starting practice today, this morning. Is that true? Is that what we've got?
I think I read that too. I'll have to go look, but I think that's right.
Yeah, check that out. I've got the team.
Saw where Coach Cross had all his players and team in Costa Rica, I believe.
Yeah, I saw a picture of his family. Yeah.
Yeah, what did he do?
No, I mean, they're like playing some games down there. Are they in Panama or Costa Rica? Where are they?
I think it's Costa Rica. I saw a picture of he and his boys and his wife,
Talking about Coach
Cross.
Yeah.
They were in some tropical rainforest
Oh boy,
in a canopy.
isn't that wonderful? Already, his kids are seeing the world, Felton.
They've got to do this. It's like a brand new team he's taking over. I mean, there's so many new players on that roster. It's crazy.
I saw the women's coach in the grocery store last night, and I was able to talk with her a little bit. She's got one girl she's trying to get from overseas, and she says if she gets that girl, she'll be set. She'll be set for the season. So
Troy starts camp. They'll officially start practice on Wednesday.
On Wednesday, not today, but Wednesday.
Auburn had one of their top recruits that they were wanting to get. He's a quarterback out of Florida, Brock Glenn, but he committed to Ohio State over Auburn. They were hoping to get him next year.
Yeah.
He's 6'2", 205.
Would that have been for the 2000?
That's 2024 class.
Yeah,
So that's a
that
couple
would
years
be
away.
two years down the road then, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Already.
All right, Dad, here's Troy's practice schedule. Wednesday, they'll start at 9:30 a.m., Thursday at 9:30 a.m., Friday, August the 5th at 9:30 a.m., Saturday at 9:30 a.m., and then they'll skip Sunday, be back out Monday for 9:30 a.m., Tuesday at 4:30 p.m., Thursday at 9:30 a.m., Friday at 4:30 p.m., and then Saturday, the first scrimmage, I believe, will be on August 13th at 9:30 a.m.
Yeah. Well, those are going to be fun to watch, and it's hot, very hot, but most of these kids have been out in it all summer long, But I'll tell you this, and I've witnessed it several times. Now I leave to come to work usually around about 5:30. Well, no, right at 6 o'clock. I would say between 6 and 6:30. Those football players have already been out on the field about 30 minutes or so. So they've actually been out there since 6 o'clock for the early morning practices. And their weight work is like this. They'll have the offense and the offensive side of the ball in the afternoon, and the defensive side of the ball at night. So they're definitely acclimated, wouldn't you say?
Yes, sir.
But,
And when school starts on the 17th, which is a Wednesday of August for Troy University's main campus,
yeah,
I guess football will be in the afternoon.
that's right.
Would it?
And another
They may
thing,
come in the morning, do some, workouts, but
Yeah.
I think they'd start.
and I'll tell you something else that happens too. Once they start school, they can bring in all the they can only coach right now 105. They can have 105 at practice the next until the school starts. So I've got them.
Well, and then you can bring all the walk-ons.
That's right. Then you can bring everybody on for practice. After but now that means the other 105 though will be the number they'll have for the first week and a half.
It's a lot of folks.
Yeah, and then when they bring in the others, that they could have as many as 125, 130 kids.
I went over to Pike Liberal's practice the other day for just a few minutes, and I also talked with Gene Allen. He went down to Enterprise to watch them practice. They drone film their football practices.
What, Enterprise?
And Pike Liberal Arts.
Yeah.
Somebody's running a drone that sits up there and quiver,
Yeah.
and is overseeing practice, and it's filming practice, and then they'll go in. The coaches will watch it rather than having somebody up there on a tripod on a scaffold.
Now, Mike, we know a few Enterprise coaches, don't we?
Well, we know the head coach is Dan Blackman, and then we know Chuck Dunn very well.
Yeah, our good friend Chuck Blackman. And Cole Weeks was at Troy last year, last 2 or 3 years under Lindsay, so we knew him. Yeah, and you're right. A fine young coach, and of course, Enterprise High School. Look out! I think they'll turn the corner this year. They've been down a little bit. And of course, you look at their schedule. And Mike, didn't you say their schedule is probably the best in the nation, or the toughest in the nation at Enterprise High School? Yeah.
Well, I mean, they don't have any natural rivals. It's a problem. They have to travel so much.
I know it. They sure do. A lot of they have to play Mobile.
Only team close by they play is Dothan.
Yeah, and that's a 7A school in Dothan. And
aren't they routed up there with Auburn and
Auburn is a 7A.
Is Opelika 7A?
They play all the Montgomery schools too.
Yeah. So it's going to be fun watching this Enterprise team, and you folks in Enterprise getting excited. I would be with the talent you got coming back. Mike, we've also got the let's see, the Wiregrass Sports Hall of Fame. What do you have on it?
It's you got it.
Yeah, here it is right here, right. I think. The Wiregrass Hall of Fame has been named for the 2022 is a former longtime high school football player and coach, Randy Griffin. I know him very well. He was at Troy when I was at Troy, and Randy Griffin's one of the all-time great players and coaches at Off High School. They've got him here, and they've got former Geneva baseball player Randy Nolan, longtime East Enterprise State Junior College coach, Tim Halsey, former Rich Wicksburg football star Ricky Render, and former sport athlete Grady Elmore Jr. of Ozark, and of course that comes out of the what is this? This is this girl.
That's Janie Wiggins.
Yeah,
she
right.
played volleyball at Troy University, and she's coached multiple high school teams in the Wiregrass area. She also started the Enterprise State Junior College volleyball program, and then it went, it dissolved, and then she got into high school coaching. I think she retired or still coaches at Enterprise.
Well, I'm going to get a little ahead of you on this.
Janie Wiggins.
Yeah, and also Grady Elmore Jr., of course, he finished his career coaching in the Columbus area. But, he played on the 1964 National Championship team in Alabama. He was a kicker. He kicked off, and, he played some wide receiver, but he was mainly a kicker. He played his senior year at Ozark High School, and he played his junior year at Andalusia. His daddy was the coach, and Grady Elmore Sr. So this is bringing the Elmore fans back to Troy.
Didn't
what now?
Didn't he play football? Baseball and basketball at Alabama too.
Yeah, he sure did. I don't know if he played basketball, but he did play. He did play baseball. He was a great pitcher.
Yes.
His daddy, like I said, was the head coach when he was at Ozark, and also when he was in Andalusia his junior year. The reason I want to talk about this is he comes from the Elmore family, Grady Elmore Jr., and I've said all along, how many times you heard me say I think it's the most prolific athletic family in Alabama State history. And it all started with Albert Elmore Sr., he was the head football coach at Florida State Teachers College for 10 years. And he had a son named Albert Elmore Jr., who played quarterback at Alabama under Ears Whitworth, and at one time held the record for the longest touchdown pass in Alabama history, and that was from Albert Elmore to Bobby Luna. So that was back in the days. He was a sophomore in the days of Bobby Marlowe. But many other, what I'm saying about this family of Elmore families, they came out of North Alabama, and they had more athletes, more people from that school that became great coaches and great players. So that's a huge football and athletic group of athletes from the Elmore family.
Elmores.
He was also Grady Elmore, Albert Elmore Sr. was an outstanding golfer, and they played golf right out here at Troy Country Club. And he was constantly shooting his age. And his son would come down from Montgomery to play, and along with Mac McClendon, who was a great pro golfer from Montgomery, and they would play. And Albert Jr. would beat McClendon quite a few times when they would play. And the reason I know all this stuff, I used to caddy out there years ago, and I used to watch them play a lot.
We got Will trying to get through on the phone.
Yeah, let's let him get through.
I don't see
Put
him
him on
yet.
hold.
He's not on yet, Mike.
All right, okay. All right, go back.
You still with us, Michael?
Yeah. He said he tried to get through. He said I hadn't heard the phone ring, so
I hadn't
trying
either.
to figure out.
Oh, we'll look for
He said it rings and then there's a busy signal, so I don't know what's going on.
it. One thing I wanted to mention over the weekend, Pike County had their Distinguished Young Women program.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Tate Gardner from Pike Liberal Arts was the
What's
winner.
her first name now?
Tate Gardner. Tate Gardner. Her mother, Carrie Lee Spurlock, was the 1993 winner.
Yeah.
So it runs in the
That's
family.
right, yeah.
So also, first runner-up was Gabrielle Levesque from Pike County High School. And your second runner-up was Haley Qualls from Goshen High School. So congratulations to Haley Qualls. Second runner-up from Goshen High School, Gabrielle Levesque. First runner-up from Pike County High School, and Tate Gardner. Pike Liberal Arts High School was named the 2022 Pike County Distinguished Young Women
Tate
recipient.
is the granddaughter of a good friend of mine, and you know, it's amazing.
You talking about Jerry?
Yeah, her mother, Carrie Lee Spurlock, was the 1993 one.
Yeah, Jerry Spurlock, of course, my good friend. That's his granddaughter, and you know, they grow up so fast. Isn't that unreal?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, last time I saw Jerry Spurlock, he was at the best restaurant to have breakfast on the beach, the Sunnyside Grill.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. If you look, you know, of course, he's a fine citizen of our community.
Let me give you some rodeo news about the Gregory girls.
Tell me about the Gregory girls.
The National Barrel Racing Association had the World Youth and Teen Championships. There were 703 riders.
Oh, boy.
Okay. Olivia finished in fourth place in the Youth 4D on her horse, Jules.
Oh, man.
So Olivia placed fourth. And Maddie also, her sister was in fourth place, finished fourth in the 3D division on the horse Dolly. So two of the girls were able to compete in that tournament.
After compared to
703 riders.
And then they were fourth.
Yeah, that's Olivia and Maddie. They're the two oldest girls, and
Of course, that's Jason Gregory's girls, and
Jason,
I
Miss
wish
Julie.
we had some film on that. It would tickle me if we can get some film on those girls riding. We're talking about what age group now?
Well, let's see. I think Olivia, she's the oldest. She's probably 11, maybe 10.
Yeah.
And Maddie, will be a fourth grader. She's probably 8 or 9.
Okay.
And then the youngest one, I think her name's Emily.
Yeah.
She's probably 6 or 7, but the youngest one didn't ride in this particular
that's
tournament.
right. Just only 2
But
competed,
but
right?
three,
Two
they all 3 do that barrel racing
I know, but
stuff. Just 2 of the 3. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there were 2 of them that competed though.
Yes,
when I did, but she's a great rider in her own right. Isn't that amazing? These girls, how let's just say this. I would say 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, they didn't even know what barrel racing was about, and they went to some kind of a rodeo event. They saw it and said, "Daddy, I'd like to do that." And sure enough, they have done it, and have done it in a big way.
Yeah, and there's 3 sisters in Goshen that also horse.
Yeah.
And they're the Chandler girls.
Oh, all right, yeah.
JC, Lexi, and I'm trying to.
Who's their daddy?
Their daddy is Scotty Chandler, and their mother's Amy, that owns the bar and restaurant.
Okay.
Johnny and Beverly's grandchildren.
Yeah, so
on that side of the family.
I'm sure that they probably have crossed.
I think
shoulders with these Gregory kids.
And I think some of the Chandler girls help the Gregory girls from time to time. Just wanted to mention
that. Official that Tim Hudson's the head coach at Lee Scott Academy, head baseball coach. How many kids you think are going to transfer to Lee Scott Academy and go play for a potential Hall of Famer like Tim Hudson?
I know that would be something to see.
Yeah. His son Cade will be a senior. He's 5'11", 180 pounds. He's a infielder and a pitcher. He coached him, I believe, a little bit when he was in junior high, but he wants to, go over there and help him develop and other players as well.
You got to imagine they'll be the new powerhouse with Pi LeVar. It's no longer in private school. You got to think a lot of kids will want to go play for Hudson.
We were talking to Ross yesterday.
Yeah. I've had a couple of calls about that show. They really enjoyed it.
And Ross, we played. Who was it that Pike LeVar played for the championship? Glenwood.
Glenwood Academy.
All right, the first game, Pike LeVar, the score was 1-0.
Yeah, that's right.
If we had lost that game, he said that Darrell Lee was our number 3 pitcher.
Yeah.
So that would have been interesting if that would have transpired, but it didn't. But like you said, Glenwood and Lee Scott will be the powerhouses in baseball.
But now I'll tell you this. You're right. You're exactly right. And that's in
AISA.
AISA. But no longer a team from Pike Liberal Arts will be competing. I'll tell you this.
Well, because Tuscaloosa Academy is making the jump for public schools.
Yes. They will be eligible for football. They are in an area in football because they made the jump a few months earlier.
Yeah, that's right.
I say jump or the transfer, but they are eligible to be in the playoffs in all sports. Tuscaloosa Academy. And I read last week in the article, there's another school that's joining the Alabama High School Athletic Association. Was that I don't want to say the name, but there's another one that's going to join as well.
You want to join the private school association, though, isn't it?
I thought it was Alabama High School, but I had to look at it because I remember looking at the article that you had, but I don't want to say it on
I understand
live until we know for sure.
I can't figure out, I guess the only big private schools you got left, you got Bessemer Academy. Now, towards the west, there's really no schools, really, other than the Selma schools, I guess. I'm just trying to figure out how in the world they're going to...
You got Monroe Academy that's still over there. They're kind of south. You got Escambia. Let's see if we can do this.
That should be Will.
Welcome to Today in L.A.
Got it.
Welcome.
Good morning,
Hey, Will.
Matthew.
Good morning, Will. How you doing this morning? I rode by the yellow house and nobody was there this weekend.
Well, there'll be somebody there in a couple of weeks.
How's everything going with you, my friend? You playing any golf?
I've been playing, but not very terrible. Been playing awful.
Well, somebody. Well, tell us what's going on in the golf world.
Well, my cousin came in third in the British Open. That was 2 weeks ago. Not this weekend, but the weekend before last. They've got a tournament this week. He's starting to play better. He got hurt early in the summer. I didn't know that, but I talked to him the other night, and he hurt his back, but he got him a physio, made it better. And all these older guys, they get little injuries and stuff. You know, it's hard to do what they. But I've been watching this Live Golf Tour, and it's interesting. It's pretty good.
Well,
We didn't talk about Hendrick Stenson winning this past. We didn't, we weren't able to talk about the golf results this past weekend. But Hendrick Stenson, won the tournament at the Trump golf course.
He won more money. I won the last 2 weeks on Super. He won more money in that one tournament than Finau won the 2 tournaments by winning.
yeah.
He won 4.4 million. Stinson did. Stinson had not won since 2017. I think I read before. He was the Ryder Cup captain for Europe, and when he decided to go to Live, they took away his captainship for the Ryder Cup, which is a big deal, a big honor, and comes and plays in his first Live event at 46 years old and wins.
Who's the new captain? They named him yesterday. I can't.
Or not Mike. Donald. Luke Donald.
Yeah, that's right.
Who's the U.S. Ryder Cup captain?
Zach Johnson.
Zach. Okay.
Hey, did Finau win again?
He did.
Yeah. He won
Boy,
again.
he's on fire, isn't he?
About 1.5 million.
He's really on fire to win back-to-back tournaments.
But he's playing against like downgraded fields. I mean, there's none of the top players have been playing the last 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Well,
and they won't be playing this week.
Why is that?
Well, they don't care. I mean, the playoffs are coming up next week.
Okay.
So this week is just for the people that are like from 120 to 140 or something on the list. They're trying to get 125 status so they can play next year. Yeah, everybody's trying to keep their scorecard.
Is that at 125? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
That's what it is. But I'll see this, Mike. It's gone up because they've had 17 Live players they've taken off. So really, it's like 142 will make it for next year.
The PGA tournament this weekend will be at the Wyndham Championship in Greensboro, North Carolina at Sedgefield. That's the tournament this weekend that you're talking about.
Yeah. I was looking at the said.
Yeah, I mean, golf's more interesting now than it's ever been because, reports came out today. We mentioned earlier on the show that Tiger Woods will have offered $700 to $800 million confirmed by Greg Norman. And then they keep on talking about all these other guys might make the jump. I mean, I don't know how you can pass up this guaranteed money. Well, right now, no spots available. Well, they've got spots available. They just got to kick some of these other guys that are not the great players really to the curb. He could always bump some of these guys that are kind of no names out. That's what he's going. He wants to get the 48 best players in the world. Yeah, that's a good. I was watching that too. You can go on livegolf.com and watch it live on the internet, or you can watch it on YouTube. But it's fun to watch. And then David Faraday now doing the commentator in the booth, and Faraday's always fun to listen to me. And Michael, they've got it where you can watch the entire tournament. They've got it taped, so you can, and then you go through it. You
skip over and all that kind of stuff.
I mean, they do a shotgun start, and they only play 54 holes. It's totally different than what we're watching a regular tournament. And you got teams. So Dustin Johnson team won $775,000 each because their team finished first.
Michael, when you say shotgun starts, so they all spread out on the course when they hit the shotgun.
that's
Everybody's
right.
playing at the same time.
That's right.
That's right.
I like that.
So it moves real fast. I'd love to go watch it live.
I'd like that. You just stay in one spot, get to see everybody at one time. I mean,
it's one of those things that, I watched it the other day, and Dustin Johnson made a birdie putt on 18, and that putt made him $600,000 more dollars.
wow.
Because they're paying just unbelievable amount of money.
Oh,
Wow.
Uh,
Gracious.
They got to be laughing about it.
I think this could really hurt golf, though.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have a cut. So everybody gets paid.
Yeah, that is pretty neat.
It's going to allow for more people to make money playing golf.
Have you looked at this, Will? Mickelson's played in 3 live tournaments, and I think he shot like plus 35, plus 40.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
He's not.
That's how bad he's played.
Oh yeah, okay.
But he got 130 million though.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I mean, they say he got 200 million, but they got 130 million up front.
Yeah. That was just to play in the tournament. Is that right?
Oh,
That's
That's
right.
just to play on the tour.
Oh boy, isn't that something? Well, but the key to their success is television. Are they going to be able to televise?
Yeah, a lot of people think TNT are going to pick them up next year, is what I've heard. They're going to have 14 events next year.
Well, the next tournament is in Boston, and Bubba Watson will be eligible. I think he's supposed to be back playing for Live, because over his knee injury.
Yeah. Now, let me ask this. Now, they can play, for the FedEx Championships. Is that true?
No, they're out of it.
Are they out of it? So it's not going to be as fun to watch.
They're banned from it.
Yeah. Now, they can play in the players. They can all play in the players, though. Is that right?
No.
No. They can only play in the majors right now. And they say that the biggest decision will be Fred Wrigley, who's over the Masters. If he decides not to let him play, that the rest of the majors might follow suit. These guys might be just out of playing any event on the regular tour.
I've heard the Masters is going to ban every single one of them except the ones that have won the Masters, like Sergio, DJ, Mickelson. They'll get played.
That have automatic,
And whenever they age out or can't play, then it'll be over. Is that what we think?
So that's crazy. Like Bryson DeChambeau and Koepka and some of those guys wouldn't be able to play in the Masters. That's hard to believe.
Well, they don't care, Michael. They're getting hundreds of millions of dollars.
So that would make a few of these guys, like Tiger, would he ever sneak back in there and win another one now?
Well,
the competition is definitely watered down if that happens.
if they would change their rules and say if you're 46 years of age or older, you can ride a car. Tiger would take that money in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I mean, Tiger makes so much in endorsements, though. I mean, he makes more in endorsements than he makes in anything.
But do you foresee Tiger ever playing like he once did?
No.
No, he barely walks.
So really, I think his popularity is going to go down if he can't play. Don't you agree?
He's still
He's
popular.
not going to go down. He's still going to be legendary.
Yeah, I know, but will he even play in any of these tournaments?
Well, he's trying to win one more PGA Tour event to break Sam Snead's record.
Well,
He's tied with Sam Snead at what was it, 86?
But
He's
you know what?
46.
Record's a bunch of crap. Because Sam Snead won maybe 8 or 10 team events with other golfers.
Oh, really?
Have these 4 balls, and Sam Snead would play with Byron Nelson or Ben Hogan or somebody like that, and they'd win by 15 strokes.
And then back in those days, there's only like really good, like 10 good players, wasn't there?
Oh yeah, he definitely.
Tiger's
Sam Snead and Phil Mickelson have one thing in common.
What's up?
Nope.
Sir?
Hello.
They were li-
Phil Mickelson have one thing in common. Do you know what it is?
No.
They both like to gamble?
No. Neither of them won the U.S. Open.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mickelson came in second like 6 times, and Steve came in second 4 times.
Yeah, one thing about Nicholson is so hard to believe is he won 46 times and won 6 majors, but he was never number one in the world.
That's right, Tiger. You know.
Yeah.
Want to mention our good friends at Southeast Alabama Gas District located in Andalusia, Alabama, and of course we appreciate them. There are many outlets all over Central and South Alabama, and of course want to mention Sandbuck Insurance with offices in Andalusia and Enterprise and Troy, and of course my good friend Denny Sanford and Sisters. Man, what a great meal at Sisters every day. And of course, I ate there Monday, and I'll probably eat there again today. Great food at Sisters Restaurant right here in Troy. Of course, the Withington Group. Remember, you're in good hands with Allstate. See Perry Green at the Good Withington Group right here in Troy, Alabama. We'll be back in just a moment.
In the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle? We've got what you're looking for.
So come see us at Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC in Troy, and you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC.
These teenage years can be tricky to navigate, especially when it comes to teaching my son about managing money. I'm thankful for helpful tools like Sidekick from Max. With Sidekick, requesting and rewarding money is easy. He can earn it by completing chores, making honor roll, or simply making a request from his own app. I love that I can easily monitor his purchases and set limits to help him learn to make smart choices with his spending, even on video games. Sidekick. Find it in your Max app.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Our wide selection of pre-owned vehicles looks so good, you'll think they're new.
So take the short drive to Bill Jackson Ford in Troy, where you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Ford, Troy, Alabama.
Back to our show, brought to you by Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram Trucks in Troy, Alabama on Highway 231. And, of course, we appreciate all of the support that we get. Congratulations to the Rigby girls. 2 of them finished number 4 in the nation, ladies and gentlemen, out of 700-something participants. Both girls in their bracket were
the Gregory girls.
Gregory girls were 4th in their event for the entire nation.
Yeah, that was Olivia, who's the oldest, and Maddie, she's the middle girl.
Yeah.
Olivia will be a 6th grader, and Maddie will be a 4th grader, I believe.
You know what I'd like to do,
And
if Jason is listening, I'd like to go out to the farm and watch these kids run barrel race. You know, they've got all kinds of facilities at their farm. And, you know, it is amazing to see these girls in such a short time be able to perform
How
like
they
they
progressed.
do. Yeah.
I can imagine all the kids in Pike County and Crenshaw County. Monday, you got to go to school if you're in Pike. If you're Pike County schools and Crenshaw County schools, I believe, start Monday. Troy City schools start Tuesday on August the. I guess it'd be the 8th or the 9th. Then Pike Lawart starts on the 19th of August, which is a Friday. And then they'll resume full speed, full classes the next Monday on the 21st or 22nd it is.
So Pike
Will,
County.
is Will going to take Alabama 11.5, over 11.5?
Michael, I've already done it.
Did you really?
I did.
Alabama's got to go 12-0 for you.
That's right.
All right.
Still do it. And think about it, Michael. They're going to be favored in every game by at least 10 to 14 points. And some games will be favored by 30, probably.
Want to mention Wiley?
Utah State won 12 games last year, and they're favored by 38.
That's what I'm telling you. Alabama is loaded. And their recruiting for next year is going to be banner recruiting again. I mean, they're just reloading.
They've already jumped to like number 2 and number 3 in recruiting.
Yeah,
They landed 2 more yesterday.
The top running back in the country. They're going into Georgia and getting all the great players out of Georgia.
Who is this great running back, Mike? Is this the kid that transferred from Tech or what?
No, this is the guy for 2023.
Who is he, Mike?
We hadn't talked about him?
No,
Good player.
No, I have missed out on that.
Well, we didn't talk at all about it yesterday. It was
all right, Mike.
He's top running back in the country.
Tell us about it. Do you have any info on him?
I got to pull him up.
But now he has to play another year of high school, though, doesn't he?
Well, as of last night, they picked up a 4-star defensive lineman, Hunter Osborne, who plays at Hewitt Trussville. They picked him up last night. He's 6'4", 260.
I don't know how Hewitt Trussville does not win a state championship. They have more talent come out there than any program in the state.
Yeah, and Thompson had another player to leave the states going to Michigan State. He's a big offensive lineman.
Yeah, how great is that about Bill?
Mel Tucker, you remember I told you this now. Mel Tucker will be the next coach at Alabama when Saban retires.
Okay.
Wow.
Well,
that would be big news.
His name's Stanton Rammel, who left, who's a senior at Thompson. He's a 4-star offensive tackle. He picked Michigan State over Auburn, North Carolina, Tennessee, Penn State, and others. And that's like the 3rd or 4th big-time college player that Thompson has had that they're going to another state.
They're going to make a train ride to Michigan. Oh, khaki pants evidently can. This is not khaki pants. This is Michigan State, green and white against Michigan and khaki pants. Khaki pants is who? Do y'all know who that is?
Jim Harbaugh.
Harbaugh. And the reason he got the nickname khaki pants, that's what he wears all the time. Khaki pants, and he'll take off his shirt during the practice. I was watching the other day on film. And he'll take off his shirt, and there he is with no shirt and khaki pants rolled up. I thought it sort of tickled me, these guys have a nickname, khaki pants. All right.
Yeah, the top running back in this year's draft, or 2023 draft. I'm not draft. I'm not the most signing day commitment.
You got it.
It's a guy named Richard Young, 5'11", 200-pound running back. Out of actually Lehigh Acres, Florida. He rushed for 1,800 yards and 20 touchdowns last year.
And Alabama got a commitment from him. Is that right?
Yeah, for 2023.
And tell me some stuff. I'm on the phone with Brent Bedsoe, my cousin, and he works for Auburn, and of course he can't give out recruiting data, but he's excited about Auburn. He likes the way Auburn looks for in the future, go ahead.
The other stud player they got was the number 1 safety, that Caleb Downs. He plays at Mill Creek. Yeah. That's the 2023.
Yeah, Alabama, they say, has got the best signing class in the history of their school at cornerback and safety coming in for next year.
Yeah. Want to mention our good friends at Post 70 this morning. Remember, they're going up in the big tournament, leaving this afternoon to go to Birmingham to play the Missouri team, which is
there's a schedule right there for tomorrow.
For tomorrow, you've got Fort Smith, Arkansas versus Jefferson City, Missouri at 10 o'clock. Pittsburgh, Kansas versus Tupelo, Mississippi. That's a 1 o'clock start in game 2. In game 3, you got St. Joseph, Missouri versus Troy, Alabama. That's a 4 o'clock start. And then, of course, also tomorrow, game 4, Gonzales, Louisiana versus the host team, Shelby County, Alabama at 7 o'clock. And that's Wednesday. And it goes all the way through Sunday. I would love to catch a ride with somebody that wants to go to that game tomorrow. I would
That's
love
going to be
go
at Pelham High School, isn't it?
Yeah.
In
And
Pelham,
Why
Alabama.
don't you get Forrest Lee to drive you up to see Brent Bedsoe and watch Auburn practice?
Well, we can sure do it if Forrest wants to do it. Forrest is busy,
Auburn,
right?
Auburn has got to figure out this Calzada kid that was the starter at Texas A&M is going to be the quarterback when camp starts. He's back healthy. He didn't even play in the spring, so a lot of people are thinking he's going to be your starter, though.
Yeah. Well, on paper he sure looks like it, but Auburn's
got 3 transfer quarterbacks. They got TJ Finley out of LSU. They got Calzada out of Texas A&M, and then they got the kid that played at Hoover that went to Oregon.
Yeah.
As a transfer too. So 3 transfers in at quarterback at Auburn.
And you know what? That's going to be the key for Auburn. If they get a good top-notch quarterback and plays like a top-notch quarterback, they could be awfully tough to beat.
Well, I can't see Auburn winning more than 7 games. That schedule is brutal.
Yeah.
What I'm interested in seeing is when Patrick Nix rolls into Georgia to play the University of Georgia, Oregon versus Georgia early.
When do they play that game? Do y'all know?
I got to look it up.
First game of the season.
It is right here, I think.
They play in Atlanta, don't they?
I think that's right.
Yeah.
I've got my SEC schedule somewhere over here. I did have it.
I've got one of the magazines. That would be who that playing? Georgia?
Yeah, they play Georgia. Oregon versus Georgia.
Here it is right here.
You got to play. You got to play Stetson Bennett.
Bennett.
September 3rd in the Georgia Dome.
Yeah, that's right. September 3rd.
3 p.m. 3 p.m.
That's going to be the game to look forward to. And now let me tell you this. I'm going to be his biggest fan. I liked him when he was at Auburn, and I like him even more since he's at Oregon. What do y'all think? You think I believe.
Mike.
Yeah.
Mike. Sometimes you say stuff. I can't believe you said that.
Well, that's right.
Georgia is favored by 19 points over Oregon.
Yeah. I didn't say they were going to win. I'm just saying I'm going to root for them. I'm going to root
It's
for
going
them.
to be a blowout.
You think it will?
Yeah. But let me tell you, Michael, I was down there, and I made a couple more season bets. Because I've got a feeling Atlanta is going to dump this year trying to get Bryce Young. They need quarterback bad.
Yeah.
And their win total is 5. I went under 5. I think they're going to lose on purpose. There was another one, Auburn. I'd already bet them at under 7. It's already dropped to 6. So
yeah,
people are betting Auburn will have a crappy year, all the way around. I did make one stupid bet. I know it's stupid, but I just couldn't help it. Vandy's at 2.5. I bet over 2.5. Surely they can win 3 games.
Well, they've got to win out the Hawaii game to start the season. If they lose that, they're in big trouble.
Yeah, but you would think they play cupcakes. The 4 games that aren't SEC games, maybe they can win 3 of them.
Do you?
I don't think they play, but
Here's a question I got for you. Will Georgia, Florida, will they ever play Athens, Gainesville? Athens?
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
That's coming?
Definitely.
Yeah, it'll just feel like an Alabama-Auburn situation. Eventually, the higher-ups will make that on-campus game.
Because I believe
Kirby already said he wants it, so it'll happen.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt on August 27th will travel to Hawaii. Vanderbilt's a 6.5-point favorite at Hawaii, and Hawaii is usually pretty decent at home.
But if they win that game, I'm probably going to win my bet. All they have to do is win 2 more games.
I was
6.5 at Hawaii, Dad. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Hawaii must stink.
Yeah, I mean, right now, other lines, West Virginia, Neil Brown, this is his must-win season. He'll play on September the 1st at Pittsburgh. They're 7.5-point underdog, West Virginia. Other games out there that will be early games. Does anybody care about watching Nebraska and Northwestern in Dublin, Ireland?
I don't know.
I mean, how does a game like that get set up?
The Frost family is be looking.
It's just Big Ten, the big OLEC games of Ireland. That's all.
Nebraska's 12.5-point favorite. Nebraska's got to have a must-win season. Nebraska's win-loss in Vegas is 7 games. I guess they think they're going to be decent this year.
I don't know.
He's talking about an athletic director and a president that have been loyal to a football coach. The guy's never had a winning record, still got a job. Scott Frost.
Oh, no, you're right. They sure have.
Is this his 4th year? Is this
Fourth or fifth?
4th, 5th?
They were real good against the line last year, though. They played a lot of people close.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now it looks like in Vegas, trying to find the Alabama line. Is it still 38?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I know Cincinnati's ranked 4th going into this season.
Wow.
Michael, they're going to have a good team, I'm telling you.
Oh, that's hard to believe.
They've got a good coach, too.
Troy Old Miss line is 23.5 right now. It went from 24.5 down to 23.5. So people are jumping on Troy, though.
Yeah. What now? They're 23 and a half?
It went from 24.5 to now 23.5.
Yeah. I tell you what, I'd lean toward Troy there. And
Troy can hang in there for a half.
Well, yeah,
Alabama's playing Utah State, who's ranked 24 in some polls. Alabama's a 38.5-point favorite at home.
Yeah. You're talking about Scott Frost. His first year, this will be his 5th year. He went 4-8, 5-7 in 2019. He went 3-5 in 2020, 3-9 last year.
Terrible.
So he's 15-29 at Nebraska.
Well, he's got to realize when he left Central Florida, he left with way more talent in Central Florida than Nebraska. Nebraska's been bad for years now. It's not like it was back in the Osborne days.
Yeah.
You know, the Gus Bus is going to have a good team this year.
Yeah, I like them over 9 for sure.
Well,
I think it was 8.5. 8.5 with Central Florida.
I have no idea. I didn't even look at it.
Hey, Forrest, you got Vanderbilt's schedule?
I could pull it up real quick. I lost my whole master schedule. Your dad's got his magazine out in front.
Yeah, I've got it right here.
Let's see if Vanderbilt can get to 3 wins for Will.
I think they can.
I think they play Northern Illinois for one of them.
Yeah, but Northern Illinois is not horrible. I've got it right here. Vanderbilt season at Hawaii.
Okay.
What are they? Win or loss?
They'll win the next one. Elon.
Yeah.
Right. So they're at Hawaii, Elon in Nashville, Wake Forest at home, loss.
Then it's Northern Illinois University at home. No, at
That
Northern.
would be the one they've got to win.
No, at Northern.
Northern Illinois. Northern Illinois Vanderbilt game at Northern
It
Illinois.
is. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Lord. I didn't know that.
Then you got to go to Alabama.
At Alabama, Ole Miss in Nashville, Georgia in Athens, Missouri in Missouri,
Now,
South Carolina.
They could beat Missouri.
Yeah. South Carolina in Nashville, Kentucky in Lexington, Florida in Nashville, Tennessee in Nashville. Boy, that's going to be really hard to get the 3 wins. They got to do it early if they're going to do it.
They got to beat Hawaii and they got to beat Northern Illinois. That's their 2 wins.
You know, you could be 3-1 if they beat Northern Illinois and already be done. Well, even on September 17th, you could be done.
I can go down there and get my money.
You know, we talked about it a few days ago. Kent State will earn $5.2 million. They play 3 big schools. They play Oklahoma, and there's 2 more, but they're going to make $5.2 million for their athletic program by playing those guys.
Isn't that amazing?
I'd personally like to ask Brent Jones, if you're listening right now, schedule Hawaii in Honolulu. I want to go to Hawaii. Seriously, I don't know why Troy can't get a game in Hawaii. I would go out there in a heartbeat for that game.
I thought we had a real good interview with Brent Jones the other day, and you know, people have been asking me, you know, about him. You know, he's not he's not. I don't even know if he's 50 years old or not. I think he's.
Oh no, he's young.
But he is one of the bright young ADs out there. He's really made a name for himself at Troy.
If Summerall has great success at Troy, both of them be gone.
Yeah, that's probably right.
Oh, maybe.
Troy needs to play UNLV too.
Yeah, they're terrible.
But when it's all said and done, it looks like, you know, with Troy, they've got, you know, I guess games locked up until probably almost 2030 on their schedule. It looks like, I mean, if the Power 5 conferences end up being, you know, a super league like everybody's talking about, where it's just going to be like 50, 60 teams, Troy is going to have to, like, open up their schedule more to try to play teams, you know, because there'll be, you know, teams out west in the Mountain West Conference and some of these other leagues that Troy might end up playing more.
Because
it's not necessarily you're going to be able to play a big boy. I don't know if they'll even have, you know, have a chance to play that money game. You might be able to play one.
Michael, if that happens, Notre Dame's going to be forced to join a conference.
Oh, yeah. They're going to have to go into Big Ten, I would think.
Yeah, they're going to be forced.
Because they're playing the ACC in every other sport. They're in the ACC conference. Which really makes no sense being in Indiana.
I noticed Clemson's over-under was 10.5 this year. That's 50.
Yeah, that is 50.
Yeah. ACC for sure.
That'd be
like Georgia's was like 10.5 or 11. It was up there.
You know,
yeah, Georgia's got a lot of guys back. You know, they lost 15, 16 guys to the draft.
If I get a chance, I'm gonna try to get some guys like Bryant Vincent, the new the interim head coach at UAB, a guy with all kinds of Troy connections, and one of the bright young coaches in America, I would say. Well,
Michael, Georgia's 10.5.
Georgia's 10.5.
Yeah, over 10.
Over under. Yeah.
We're talking about number. You know, how many games?
You got to go 11-1 to win the best.
Yeah. So.
I mean, Stetson Bennett's back at quarterback. You got a lot of great players back on defense. You got a lot of good running backs back. I mean, Georgia's going to be good, and I don't think the East is going to be strong enough. I mean, who do you think in the East could beat Georgia? Tennessee?
South Carolina and Tennessee are probably the only two that have a chance.
I mean, Kentucky won 10 games last year. Kentucky's pretty good. They got their quarterback back. Florida, you don't know what Florida's going to do under Napier.
I think Florida's going to stink. They're over under 6.5.
Wow.
Florida State?
Yeah.
Troy 6.5.
I think Neil Brown's always going to regret making that move to West Virginia when he could have sat back probably another year and got the Florida State job. Now you look at like Napier. Napier was at Lafayette, ends up getting a Florida job. Yeah, I mean, Neil Brown was a hot commodity, ends up taking a West Virginia job that, you know, Dana Holgerson, had decent teams at West Virginia. Now, Holgerson's at Houston. Houston won 11, 12 games last year. But, Neil Brown, he could have really had a big-time job. He could have waited. Not that West Virginia was a horrible job, but I don't think that was a good fit for him.
Mike, I was looking at Kurt Singetti. He said he was at Alabama, as the assistant coach. Is he the coach?
He's the head coach of James Madison.
Yeah. So he's going to bring a new look to James Madison. They're in the Sun Belt now.
I have never been to James Madison. I know Troy played him in the 1AA playoffs years ago.
Where is James Madison? Where is that located?
In Virginia, they're located in Virginia, and
it's a real old school, isn't it?
yeah, oh yeah, it's got a lot of tradition, in that part of the country.
Well, the girls went to the College World Series in softball 2 years ago, and they've always been pretty good in basketball as well. Football, they've been a 1AA powerhouse. It's basically been James Madison and North Dakota State playing in the title game every year. So, I think they'll be good in the Sun Belt. They'll do just like Appalachian State did and Georgia Southern and they even coach from Carolina. I think they'll be successful right away.
Their quarterback is Alonzo Barnett III, a quarterback from Greensboro, North Carolina. That's their quarterback. So
James Madison, they'll play right away, I believe. I don't think they've got. Maybe they can't win a conference championship this year. I think I read something like that.
I think they got 2 years.
yeah.
Yeah, I think 2 years they can.
We're going to take
we're done.
We'll stay right here. And of course, we hope you've enjoyed our show. And of course, again, tomorrow on this show, we'll feature the mayor of the city of Troy, the Honorable Jason Reeves. And we appreciate it.
Jason spoke at the graduation the other day.
Yeah. And
James Madison went 12-2 last year.
Yeah, they're pretty good. I know they're pretty good. But we look forward to our mayor being on our show, and I hope that you'll join us for that. And of course, we've got the big American Legion event coming up. Troy playing Missouri, a team from Missouri, and that's tomorrow. And
the biggest news is Troy starts football practice tomorrow.
Troy University starts football.
You can leave the snow, go get breakfast, and go watch practice at 9:30.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I look forward to that.
And good luck to the Angels today. They'll play around 5:30 in Louisiana.
And
there's 4 teams left.
Yeah, and they've been up there. Now, how many days have they been up there now?
They left Thursday, last Thursday. So they've been there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. They're in their 6th day, I believe. Hope they're there another day.
You guys make sure that they keep their job down here because they're up there supporting our team.
That's right.
We hope that you enjoyed our show, and of course, we appreciate all of our sponsors: Barnes Hardware, best hardware store around, and of course, the unique, very unique, and also Oakview Manor in Ozark. And we appreciate them as we do Alabama Road State Connection. See you tomorrow, bright and early, for Today in LA. Thank you.
In the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle? We've got what you're looking for.
So come see us at Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC in Troy, and you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC.
These teenage years can be tricky to navigate, especially